Thoughts in Motion here, and today we're going to ask you one simple question. Do you know where your life is going? Do you honestly have 100% like positivity in which direction your life is going? Probably not. We don't.
It's okay if the answer's no.
It's okay if the answer's no, and we're going to tell you why. And I'm going to tell you a story that's happened recently with my own little brother.
Yeah.
He's 12 years old. He's in year 8. I don't know what that is in America. I think it's 8th grade.
Roughly.
And he was in a meeting with his teachers, and his teacher said, "Lewis, what job do you want? What career do you want?" And he just looked at us and went, "Help?" He didn't know. And the teacher said the most stupidest thing. She said, "Well, come on, Lewis. You should know where you want to go."
I can't expect someone of that age to know.
I would have been like, "Fuck you! I'm 12 years old. How am I supposed to know what I want to do with my life?"
Exactly, man.
When I was 12, all I wanted to do was play Halo 3. I think that's all I wanted to do when I was 12.
Or play out, or go on like a bike, or go to the park.
Yeah.
Anything.
Even as a 21-year-old now, I don't know where I want to go in life. I have a better idea than I did 2 years ago, but in all fairness, I don't exactly know where it's going to go.
It's one of those things where it's when you are younger, you don't think about it. When you go through school 12, 13, 14 years old, you think, oh, I don't need to figure my life out yet because I'll figure it out in when I'm 18, when I'm 19, when I'm 20, when it gets closer to that time of being an adult.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you get to that point, you get to that age, and you're still in that same exact position where you're like, I still haven't thought about this, I still haven't figured it out, what's going on now? And it becomes worrying because you get to that age where people start to expect that of you. And that's kind of like where we're going with this video. Like if you don't have that figured out yet, it's saying that it is okay, because not everyone has things sorted out, like Adam just said before.
Yeah, so I mean, when I left school at 16, I went to college to do a BTEC extended diploma in computer shit. Right?
Generally.
I went in a general sort of quotation, and I did that for 2 years, but I did it because my parents told me it was the best thing for me, because computers is where the money is these days. So I thought was money. I need to get the money. I wasn't worried about happiness. This is the direction I want to take it. Happiness.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. So I did 2 years in college in a course that I didn't really like, because at the end of it I thought there'd be money. But then something was inside of me saying, this isn't what you want to do. This isn't fulfilling you.
It's like you go through that 2-year period of a college course or whatever, and you come through it, and at the end you're just still kind of in the same position, like, that didn't get me any further forward, that didn't answer any questions, that didn't lead to, it wasn't any self-fulfillment or anything like that, was it? So
it was like, I thought I had to have my life sorted by 18.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I was looking at cars that I was going to get, houses that I was going to buy. I was actually Googling houses, because, you do 3 years of college a week, what else do you do in your spare time? Googling houses, cars, this, that. Trying to get every little thing in my life, so I knew that was what it was going to be like.
Again, that, without to kind of deterring from this subject too much, that's where the whole what society expects of you comes into play. And that's probably why people feel they should have things figured out by a certain age, because that's what's expected of you in society, that's what your parents expect of you, because that's what was expected of them, and so on and so forth. And things have changed. Generations are different these days. Some people don't find their feet in a career till they're 30. Some people don't move out till they're 25, 26, 27, 28. Things have changed, times have changed, things are a lot different now than they were 10, 20 years ago. So it's actually a good thing, because now you're not as, I would say, I don't know what you would say, I would say you're not as expected to have things figured out.
I think there's a lot more pressure, but I think it's pressure that you put on yourself.
Yeah.
It's pressure that you see other people that have their life sorted, and you want that, because it's like, I want to know what I'm doing. Like, everyone's life purpose is to find out, where they're going to be.
That's why we're here at the end of the day. That's what being a human is kind of figuring out.
It's that whole long journey.
Yeah, it's that experience of life in general, where you've got to figure out what you're good at, what you're bad at, what you like, what you don't like, and that's pretty much all there really is to it.
Yeah,
terms.
Like I said, with that teacher telling my brother that he should have his life sorted, I was like, no, you shouldn't. Like, what 12-year-old has their life sorted?
Exactly.
What 21-year-old has their life sorted?
One thing I've realised is, just because, say you enter a career at like 18, and you hit 20 and you're like, oh, I've got things figured out, I'm in a career, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. That doesn't mean that in 10 years time, 5 years time, you might want to switch careers, or you just have a change of heart and you want to do something else with your life. Loads of people do that. Like Matthew Santoro on YouTube, one of the biggest YouTubers right now. He was an accountant he went to university, he was an accountant, he'd done it for ages, he thought, this is the right thing, I'm making good money, this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
And then he started to enjoy YouTube videos. He got fired from his job as an accountant, right? Again, come back to job security, doesn't exist. He got fired from that, started doing YouTube videos, he was broke. And then now he's 30, 31, 32 years old, something like that. His life completely spiraled. Now he has 5 million subscribers, he gets 1 million views every video. He's making more money than he did when he was an accountant, and he's working for himself. That shows you that just because you follow a certain path, or you think something's right for you, it doesn't mean it necessarily is as well. You can always change things later in life. It doesn't matter if you have a family or kids or a house or whatever. You can't let things hold that back. But getting back to the point again, I necessarily don't have everything figured out in my life personally. I'm going to be completely honest with you on this video. I know, as I've talked about in loads of videos, as people that watch this may know, music is my career. That's my kind of direction.
Really?
If you didn't know exactly.
Yes.
That's kind of what I've followed from a young age, and for me that was me figuring myself out at a really young age, what I'm really thankful for. But that doesn't mean that at the age of 21, turning 22 soon, I am in a secure situation where I have everything figured out in a music career. I don't. I'm getting there, and slowly I'm kind of achieving more and getting to where I want to be. But it hasn't happened overnight. It hasn't happened over years. It's a slow progress. But I still haven't got everything figured out. And who knows? In 10 years' time, I might want to do something else. I don't know. You never know where your life's going to lead.
I know plenty 21, 22, 23-year-olds who have settled into a long-term relationship. They have their own house, their own car, you know, maybe even a kid.
The working man's lifestyle.
The working man's lifestyle. And they are fucking miserable.
Yeah,
they are so fucking miserable because they can't afford anything. They think they've got their life sorted, and then they're like, okay, I've got this, but what do I do now?
Yeah.
And it's like, you rushed into it. You didn't live, you didn't expand the journey into something that you were happy with. You just thought, everyone else has got this. I'm gonna now have this.
You could say figuring your life out is figuring out what you value the most.
Yeah.
So if you value happiness, or you value like some kind of lifestyle where it involves happiness, like traveling or like working for yourself or something like that, or like again like turning your dream or your hobby or something into a job and a career, it's got to be something that you value. And once you figure that out, that's kind of you figuring your life out almost. It doesn't have to mean that all the questions are going to be answered. It doesn't mean that everything's going to be there in front of you and that's that. It's more of like it's going to happen over time. You're going to figure out what your values are, and you're going to go from there.
Yeah. If you like there was a famous quote. I can't remember who said it, but he said something like, "There's worse things in life than living on a futon bed at age 30." He says, "There's worse things, like being married to a woman or a partner that you're not really fully in love with, but you're married for some reason. Doing a job that you don't like just to get by, and living in a house that you're not really fond of."
Yeah.
Says, if you live on a futon bed, there's a lot worse things than not having your life together at age 30.
Exactly.
And I know Gary Vaynerchuk's talked a lot about, even at 50, some people that don't have a life together, they have like maybe another 30 years worth of life left where they can build a business or get everything sorted or settle down or whatever.
Like this whole not having your life figured out by the age of 20 or whatever type subject.
Bullshit!
It is bullshit, but it's something that we all find ourselves thinking about or worrying about it sometimes. I know I have personally, I know you have, and I know a lot of other teenagers like approaching that age will have thought about, because it's just natural. But it doesn't mean that it has to be a certain way or anything. Like I say, like if you put it into perspective, 20 years old is nothing. In reality, you're only beginning your life really at 20 years old. That's that's the start of your life, because that's the start of you being an adult and making decisions for yourself and doing what you want to do. Up until that point, you've always got superstition and things like that. So do you want to add to that a little bit?
I think I want to add a bit more about like what the social pressure is to live the almost ideal way of you know, you get the nice house, the nice car, the partner, this, that.
Yeah,
that sort of security little bubble that everyone's almost forced into these days. Like, I've always rejected that. My mom would never. She was like, oh, why can't you just be normal? And then now she's like, okay, maybe it's good to be not normal. But I always wanted to be different from everybody else. I had to be different in some, even if it was like everyone's wearing these shoes, I've got to wear these shoes. Like little things like that, I had to be different.
The little things.
Yeah, the little things. And I don't ever want to be in that situation where I'm like, okay, I've got this social, almost like the social norm of what you should have.
Yeah.
There's people outside of it who are looked at as weird, and it's like, well, they haven't got this security.
Yeah.
And it's scary to look at those people that don't have security.
Yeah.
And it's almost like because everyone has it, you feel secure that you have it.
Yeah.
Like I know people that have got kids young, like I've mentioned this before.
It's like when you leave school and you those people that you didn't talk to or you weren't friends with, you see what they got up to.
Yeah.
And it's things like that. Yeah, exactly.
So there's people in school who, like, you know, the popular kids.
Yeah.
Right. What are all the popular kids from your school doing?
What they're all doing.
Yeah. Do you know what most of mine are doing?
What?
Selling drugs.
Yeah.
Selling drugs.
I know some of the popular kids that end up in pretty bad situations. Like, obviously I'm not going to go into detail about it, but like, exactly.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Shit. But yeah, if you don't have your life sorted 25 to 30, don't worry. It's not the end of the world. As long as you are working on yourself and you have some sort of little idea of where you want to go, you're okay.
As long as you have direction and you know what you value and what's most valuable to you, that's all that matters. And that's what I would say. If you continue, like I say, keep working on yourself, keep working on those things will kind of, they say life has a funny way of working out, and it really is true, because things will work out eventually, and you'll find yourself in a situation where you are happy and you can kind of be like, I've got things figured out now. Even then, you never really fully figure it out. You could talk to like a 70, 80-year-old retired person and they still haven't figured out life.
I wish I'd done this.
Yeah, exactly. But all it really is just kind of trying your best at it, like figuring out what you like, what you don't like, experiencing as many things as you possibly can, and that's all that I could really say about that, really.
Yeah, I mean, we film videos in random fucking locations. Like this is water right here. We can literally step back into the water.
Yeah.
In my view, like if you asked me a year ago, oh Adam, what would you be doing in a year's time? I would never have said, I'm out here in the middle of nowhere filming a video about life.
It's nice. It's quite a pretty place.
Yeah, sure it is. Yeah. I'm just quite scared I'm going to slip into the water eventually, but yeah, I just want to round off by saying, don't worry if your life sucks at 20. It's totally fine. It's meant to be that way. If you don't live in the ideal situation, it's cool. Just keep working on yourself. Keep looking for fun things to do. Live a good life.
We've been Thoughts in Motion. Thank you for watching.